we have any?
No, sir.
All right. Public comments, please.
Thank you. I have Muhammad Al-Gahim, 3 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. My name is Muhammad Al-Gahim.
You want to press that mic, please?
No, it's open.
So, is
Oh,
this
it's open. Sorry. I live on Roosevelt. Our streetlights have been out for the past few months. In October, somebody hit a light pole, or electric pole, excuse me, on Jacob, knocked out electricity. DTE came and fixed it the same day, everything was fine, but the streetlights on the corner of Gallagher and Roosevelt and the one next to Keyword have been out. Since then, I've made a complaint to the public department downstairs. I used that citizen portal. I even tried calling DTE. They said it's not their responsibility. For some reason, they said they strictly only do Detroit. So, yeah, I mean...
Mr. Mayor, I can comment on this. It is DTT's responsibility. We do often report them, and I will follow up to make sure it gets reported again. But oftentimes they tell people that, but it is their actual
They kept
responsibility.
kicking out. That was put in with DT twice.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
so
so maybe
to call
we
out
can
again.
call our liaison on this
Yeah.
one. So I wasn't aware we already put it in twice.
So, yeah, it's very dark, especially wintertime. 5 p.m. it's already dark, so...
Please communicate with the city manager for.
We'll definitely follow up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chair, I just want to remind you something. For the street light, we are paying additional money to DT. So if light is on, still we paying. If light is off, still we paying.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you.
Ahmed Sharaf.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. It's not going to be long. I'm going to say part of in Arabic and the rest in English. شكرا للأخ السميري for the work that you done. والاحترام للقوانين خاصة أيام الانتخابات as well الأخ محمد السميري وخالد وكذلك العمدة. أنا آسف خليل وخالد في القلب إن شاء الله. شكرا لكم ونبارك للعمدة وسائر الذين عملوا بجد وبأخلاقية أيام الانتخابات ونبارك برضو للطرف الآخر بالالتزام بالقوانين وكذلك بالخلق الرفيع. الشيء الآخر, second, I am welcoming the 2 officers was lately come to our police department, and I hope the city that will be better. This is part of my citizen patrol for the city of Hamtramck. Thank you. Shukran.
Fadl Al-Marsumi.
You want to come and sit here?
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to see you all. Look, I haven't done a lot of public comment recently, so I'm gonna read a little bit of stuff that I wrote off. Look, I just want to say thank you all for your time. I stand here with pride for what has been accomplished in our city. I applaud management, council, and all departments for the initiatives to strengthen police presence and how it's transformed our community in ways that we can all see and feel. This isn't just about increased patrols. This is about building trust and creating a safe, welcoming environment for everyone that lives, that works, and that visits our beautiful city. Business owners, right, now can operate with confidence knowing that their investment are protected, and essentially they feel more secure. I'll never forget when my father had a dollar store from 99 to 2009 on Joseph Campo. And my father would say, look at our city. We have police officers that patrol the streets. We have police officers that protect our people, and protect our investments, and protect what we all know and love, which is our rights. So I thank you all for investing in the police reserves, in the police department, and any form of public safety and public service, essentially. So I'm happy with how safe Hamtramck is and how much safer it's become. And I look forward to having my 2 new peers that have joined as reserves, John DeAngelis, Rassam Nagy, and myself, as well as the 2 new officers that have been sworn in, and how we can give back to the community. We appreciate you, your guidance, and our law enforcement leaders. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Bill Meyer.
Council, Mayor, everyone, thank you. I guess you stay away for a few meetings, a lot of things happen. I missed, I'm sorry, but so nice to see our former councilman is still active in the city. I've been out of touch with a lot of stuff happening, and I also am not on Facebook or social medias, but I am hearing rumors that our mayor might be considering being attracted to the bright lights of Washington, D.C. or somewhere in the world, and this scares me because I've been so impressed with the work that he's done in this city, how it's turned around into such a great cooperative working community, that I don't know who could fill those shoes. This is very difficult to fill. Someone would need to have the ability to represent everyone like Amr has been doing, bring people together of all the different persuasions. That's very difficult in this city to bring people together, to understand Robert's rules, to translate when necessary, to stay awake during meetings, to treat the public with respect. Everyone here, you've done a tremendous job. I hope you're not leaving. I hope this is a rumor, but anyways. And one very important thing is your English is very clear and understood by people who don't speak, that speak only English. I would never say this about anyone because I think everyone should be able to speak their own language the way they want to. But when you speak English and when you're elected to an official position where you have to know English to speak to other people who only know English, that's critical. You have to be understood. And you've been very understood, and you work with everybody of all communities. So I hope this is not going to happen. But if it does, we have to find a solution. I'll leave it at that. I do want to talk briefly about Kniff Street, which I'm thrilled at all the work that's being done in the city. We waited years and years for the city to be fixed, the sewers, the roads, and I'm so impressed with where the city's going now. Of course, it's causing a lot of discomfort for the businesses, especially on Kniff. I live right there on Trowbridge, and we walk there quite often down the street that's not open yet. And I saw a vision today when I was walking. It's almost ready to open up. It's exciting. The streets are totally clean, and the curbs are clean. There's no yellow paint on the curbs. There's no parking meters on the curbs. I'm just going to hope that for the businesses there, that you don't put parking meters on that street. That you maybe put signs there saying, we'll pay you to park here. So that we get people to come to these businesses and make up for the months that they've had to try to survive with no customers, unable to come down the streets. And I know it was a discomfort, but it was necessary, so I thank you for all that. And lastly, there's terrible...
Sorry, your conversation was so intriguing that I forgot to pull my time.
Oh, well, wait, can I ask for 30 seconds?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, one small thing on Holbrook. I'm sure you all know about it, but there's whole grooves that they've dug out for the concrete, and they've been filling it with asphalt, and the asphalt's getting mashed down, and it's like hitting hard concrete when you hit these sunken asphalt things. I know you know about it. I know it's not in Hamtramck, it's Detroit. But there is one right at the corner of Zal Hall right there that is Hamtramck. It goes right across the street, and every time that gets sunk in, we're going to lose axles and stuff like that. So I know what influence you have with Detroit, but that's terrible. You got to fix that. Very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Abdul Fattah Al-Lawri.
السلام عليكم. كنت جاي اليوم عشان بس من شان هذا حق الهانديكاب. في ناس معاهم هانديكاب وقد آبائهم أو الناس اللي فيهم المرض قد راح أكثر من سنوات وهو بيعمل زحمة على الشارع. صراحة إحنا بنعانيها كثير جدا، يعني إحنا في رزفك نعاني مشاكل كثيرة. في شخص واحد أعرفه أبوه توفي من قبل 3 سنوات والآن الهانديكاب بيتحكم، والمشكلة مع الجراش ويخرج السيارة حقه في الشارع مع السيارة الأخرى مع سيارة نسيبه، يعني بيقعدوا أكثر من مالك أكثر من الشارع كامل. هذا أولا. ثانيا من شان اليمنيين والعالم كله اللي بيدخل على همترامك من شان موضوع عقودات الإيجار. احنا نشوف الآن في شباب جايين جدد وما بيحصلوا على حقوق انه يوصل اليمني باب يرفض انه يجيب العقد الايجار، بيجي لي يوم يومين اسبوع اسبوعين شهر شهرين بيقول له هذا قد. طيب انا وين اروح وين اسير؟ انا اتصل للعسكر، العسكر بيقولوا لي ما فيش معك ليس. اوكي الليس رافض انه صاحب البيت انه يجيب لي ليس، او يقول لك الليس حقك انتهي، بموجب انه انتهى الليس حقي قبل فتره، انا في معي اقل حاجه قبل الرنت افتر الليس يعني بعد الاكسباير. طيب الموضوع الان انه يقول لك انا ما عجبني صاحب المستاجر او انه كذا او ما فيش صلاحيه انه للمستاجر يجيبوا له فتره بعد انتهاء العقد او فتره انه ما فيش عقد يدوا له وقت انه يبحث على بيت اخر. والان احنا نعاني مشاكل كثيره جدا، جديد احنا جايين جديد بنستقبل ان اليمنيين نفسهم يعني يواجهون مواجهه بوجه غير الوجه. صراحه نحاول ان انتم تحطوا الموضوع هذا بعين الاعتبار وتحاولوا تعملوا له حل. بالهانديكاب وموضوع الاجاره حق اليمنيين ضروري انه كل واحد يلتزم انه يجيب عقد للمستاجر، والعقد يلزم حاجات كثيره ويدي له فتره الوقت. شكرا.
Thank you. So he's talking about the handicap signs, and every street there's too many of them, and a lot of residents are complaining. And he said he knows some people who already passed away, but the sign is still there. And I don't know who's given these, because I know our practice, for example, there's some terms when to give this permanent handicap. The person must not be able to walk more than 200 feet, or he's on oxygen or wheelchair. That's when you give it. So I don't know how come there's so many signs. Does the city takes into consideration to investigate? Is it because there's two of them. One you can give for the car. That's for anyone who is disabled, but it still can walk. But the permanent one on the street has to have some conditions and terms for the physician to agree. So I don't know who's that doctor who's given to everyone. There's so many of them in the street. So he said he knows his neighbor that his dad passed away, but the sign is still there. We need to investigate on those and cancel those who are not qualified. Then the second thing he talked about is the lease agreements for people, rent agreement with the landlord. He said a lot of people refuse to give, to the renters some lease agreements. And I think our city is working on this. There's so many people who do not register their houses and their properties for rent in the city, and that's why they don't want to give lease agreement to some people. So that's why you see so many signs sometimes on the door, do not occupy, those yellow or red signs. That's for some of them because they rent them without registering those properties in the city, and the city is going after those people, and I think they are doing their job, but those that we haven't gotten to, we will get to them soon.
Mr. Mayor, if you could encourage him to, if he knows of landlords that are shady, for example, to let us know, because we're happy to enforce that. And then second, if you could give me the address from the alleged handicap violator. We do follow up on those. The city attorney was trying to roughly translate for me. He said that the father had died a few years back. I wonder if the license plate and handicapped is still in the dad's name, because we do request verification of that on those, and we do it yearly. So, but happy to check it out. I just need an address.
I've got the address.
Oh, you? Okay.
No, you can't talk, but I'll explain to you. So if you know this, إذا تعرف هذا الشخص الذي قد توفى يقول لك ممكن تدي المعلومات له وهم حيتابعوا بعدين. أنت دي تعرفها أنت معك الثاني إحنا عم نشتغل عليهم. والثاني أوكي تدي أساميهم لا هو حيتابع عليهم. أوكي تدي العناوين حقهم هو حيتابع بعدهم. وبالنسبة للدولة اللي يأجروا من ما يرضوش يدوا عقد هذول لانهم مش مسجلين البيوت الايجار عشان ما يبقاش تفتيش عليهم.
بيكون المظلوم والمستاجر.
وزي ما قلت لك الساينز هذول اللي تلقى بالباب الحمر هذول اللي احنا نكتشفهم ونحط انه ممنوع السكن بهذا البيت. ففي كثير لا نكتشفهم ودي ما قد وصلناش عندهم عن وصل.
بس المظلوم والمستاجر.
That's it. ما خلاص زي ما قلت لك احنا نعمل شغلنا ولو تجزع على الشوارع بتشوف ساينز كثير بالابواب ممنوع السكن ممنوع السكن هم هذول لا نوقف السكن خالص بالبيوت لانه مش مسجلات للايجار هان واللي ما وصلناش عنده احنا عم نوصل عنده. اوكي.
Omar Al-Gahim.
Hello, good evening everybody. My name is Omar Al-Gahim, lifetime resident of Hamtramck. I don't know if anybody touched briefly on this issue. Back in October there was an incident knocking out a light pole which affected our streets and the surrounding areas as well. I inquired with DTE about it several times, as well as the city of Hamtramck, just to get close this issue out and replace the LED lights, whatever it needs, to get those lights back up. It's been kind of like, I guess, he said, she said, we're just waiting on DTE, I guess, but there's nothing been done, and it's dating 10 weeks back to this incident. So I don't know if anybody can briefly on that.
They did speak on it. If you want to repeat what you told the other gentleman?
Yeah, we did contact DTE. Actually, our DPS director advised that we reached out to them several times at this point. We're going to do it again. It's basically DTE's responsibility to replace those. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth, but hopefully we can make some headway. We're going to both of us are going to try tomorrow again.
Okay, I appreciate you guys on that. And also, I don't know if anybody spoke about this, but on Roosevelt and Gallagher intersection, again, I've been there all my life, and there's a school administration building there, if I'm not mistaken. It's been there since I know myself. Just wanted to ask in regards of like any speed bumps, because I see everywhere going around, like wherever the schools are in Hamtramck or on Hanley or Denton or whatnot. I see a lot of speed bumps. I like that. It's a preventative measure. I just don't want any kids having to have a speed bump after an incident already occurred. So I would ask kindly to the council, to look into that. I'm not sure if it's a budget issue or, looking at just a little gravel or whatnot, just to form a speed bump. We're just talking a small intersection, just the entrance to the park, a lot of walking space over there as well. And, the entrance to the park, there's not an individual entrance. It's just straight for cars and pedestrians as well, so.
Mr. Chair, can I address, by the way, a lot of residents on that street actually request for speed humps. We are working on it, but because we just have done service lines. So until it's completely done, and then we have enough grants, we're able to repair the whole street and then add those speed humps. So we don't want to add them now. They cost money. And then when we redo the whole street, and then you got to remove them, then you double the money.
Right.
So just please have patience. Hopefully within time you will see that will be repaired.
Thank you.
You will.
Appreciate you guys.
No problem. Thank you,
All
Chair.
right. That's all for
Public comment?
in person, but I'm going to read some emails. Should I got some water with me? No, all right. First one is from Omar Khan, and I apologize in advance if the wording is off. I'm trying to read them as is or as easy for you to understand. Good morning, Rana. I'm Omar Khan, Hamtramck resident. I'd like to know how Councilman Abu Musa is still councilman. He lives in Warren with his family, and he sleeps in the council meeting all the time. I do have 1 month record what time he goes to Warren House and what time he comes out from Warren House. This is moral issue. Lie one thing and staying with lies is big moral issue. I am requesting mayor and council to investigate this matter. I am paying my tax to city and he is getting paid from my tax money. I don't like someone lied to us. If you don't do anything, I will have to go to court and take action against you all. Then you have to pay more money. Thanks for understanding, Omar Khan. This is Mahabub Kamal. Good morning, Ms. Clerk. My name is Mahabub Kamal. I am longtime Hamtramck resident. Mr. Mayor and City Attorney, I'd like to know how Abu Musa is still councilman. He lives in Warren and I know his Warren address. Also, he sleeps in the council meeting. My tax money going to his paycheck. So if you guys don't take any action, I will go to Michigan State. Please take action ASAP. If you think I am not correct, please do the investigation. Best regards. Miss City Clerk, this is Abdul Moten. Honorable Mayor, Council, and dear resident, good evening. I am Hamtramck City, longtime resident. I watched last few council meetings after I heard one of our council members sleeps in the council meeting. He is very clear he was sleeping all the time. My question to Mr. Mayor and Council, how you all let that happening? He is getting paycheck from my tax money and how I feel about this matter. Mr. Mayor, you are chair of the meeting and he sits side by you and you don't see that, or you see that you don't like to say anything. Mr. Mayor, you are a highly educated person, is not affecting your reputation. Mr. President-elect Donald Trump call you mayor of the real world, and what you will, your assistant mayor pro tem, are the mayor of the sleeping world. Maybe it is acceptable for you all. For me, it is not acceptable. Assuming after you go White House, he will take over your position. Then while he sleeps, you will call him to wake him up, and Trump will say to you, I hire you to help me, not to Sleepy Joe. Thanks, everyone, for listening to me. Again, I apologize for I'm doing the best I can. Good morning, Rana. I, Abdul Chowdhury, Hamtramck resident. Council Mohith Mahmood is falsifying his residency. He currently resides in the city of Troy with his family. However, he is showing his false pretense that he resides in Holbrook Street in Hamtramck. We have 9 months of evidence that he goes every night to sleep in his home in Troy. A person is considered a resident of the city where they sleep every night. If he cared for the growth and development of our city, why is he living in Troy? It is disheartening to know that there is corruption being committed to satisfy his own interests. His intentions are not for the well-being of our community. My humble request is to conduct a full investigation into his action and residency. Sincerely, Abdul Chowdhury. Good morning, Rana. I am Sapan Chowdhury, Warren resident. I am talking about Abu Musa. He lives in Warren with his family, and he sleeps in the council meeting all the time. Due to that, people never vote for him the last 2 terms. I know what time he comes to Warren House and what time he goes out from Warren House. This is a moral issue. Lie one thing and staying with lies is a big moral issue. I am requesting mayor and council to investigate this matter. I am paying my tax to city and he is getting paid from my tax money. I don't like someone to lie to us. If you don't do anything, I will have to go to court and take action against you. Then you must pay more money. Also need to know what the investigation report of last council election and what is the action you are taking. Thanks for understanding. Dear Mayor Galib, I have criticized you in the past, perhaps unfairly as it turns out. As much as I disagree with some of your decisions, you are at least honest enough to live amongst the people you voted for. I have my doubts about the members of the council that you lead. I make this public comment in the hopes that it will encourage you to investigate the rogue members of council who live outside of Hamtramck. I have grown frustrated that members of council have become increasingly bold in their lawlessness while running honest candidates out of town for their suburbs. Hamtramck has seen many good city council members leave council either because they refuse to engage in the outright ballot harvesting fraud that has decided nearly every council race for a decade, or because they became disgusted at their colleagues' increasing demands that city government drop all pretense of standards. For example, every time one of their neighbors or a loud, well-connected member of their community got a ticket for being too lazy to cut their grass, they blamed the city officials responsible for enforcing the law. Laws that people in every other American city must follow, like cutting your grass, shoveling your snow, paying your taxes, licensing your businesses, following the building and zone codes. Every time a well-connected business person had a problem following the law, there was always some member of council doing backflips to change a rule or chastise the poor code enforcement officer, doing their best to keep the city clean and safe. This isn't American-style municipal government. This is the worst of third world shady government imported here. I am all for diversity. I am all for equal rights and allowing people of all backgrounds to have their turn, but let's at least have people follow basic rules. The worst kept secret in town is that Councilman Hassan, in his typical sneaky and cowardly fashion, using fake email addresses, is trying to unseat Councilman Musa from his position as mayor pro tem so that Hassan can become mayor if you leave for Washington. Councilman Hassan has told on himself and admitted this dishonest behavior to too many people. Mind you, if Councilman Musa is breaking the law and living outside of Hamtramck, he should be prosecuted. But I have personal knowledge that Councilman Hassan does the same. I suspect most on his council are also illegally occupying their seats, leaving the rest of the people to live in their cesspool, while they have their families live in the cities they provide services that they refuse to provide to the serfs whose votes they steal. This is shameful as well as illegal. Public service is a privilege. It should not be a joke. The public trust is at stake here. I don't know whether Councilman Musa lives in Hamtramck. I know for a fact that Councilman Hassan doesn't. He can hide behind fake emails all he wants, but stopping with Councilman Musa and letting the others off for doing the same exact thing would make an even bigger mockery out of this council and further undermine the public's already diminished trust in it. Mayor Galib, I call on you to launch an investigation into the residency of this rump council. Do not look the other way and tarnish your legacy. Sincerely, Charles Blackwell. This is from Good afternoon, dear Rana. MD Khalil Rahman. I'd like to know how Councilman Mohammed Kamral Hassan is still a councilman. He is a corrupt individual. He has done ballot tampering in every election in Hamtramck. He is the one who started corruption in Hamtramck election, and he should be investigated and suspended from the city council. He teaches new candidates how to do the scam in elections and get people in trouble. Thank you, MD Khalilur Rahman. That's all for public comment.